Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nyca, and with some celeb talk. Girl, I'm on the fence about this one, but we gonna run it like we do everything else. It was an interview that Bill Cosby did where he said he expects to serve his full 10-year sentence rather than say he's sorry. Child. In his first prison interview, Bill Cosby spoke to an African-American oriented news site in a rambling lecture in which he claimed to be educating fellow prisoners, rallied against the ruin of his TV legacy, and vowed to serve his full 10-year sentence for sex crime convictions rather than show remorse for his crimes he says he didn't commit. Now, Cosby spoke with one Stacy Brown, a correspondent for the National Newspaper Publishers Association's BlackPressUSA.com by phone Sunday for an exclusive interview, according to this is a spokesperson, Andrew White, for Cosby since his two trials in 2017 and 2018. Now, Ms. Brown's story included a 15 audio of part of the interview, which lasted 45 minutes, and came about after Cosby called Wyatt to talk on Sunday. The audio was hard to hear and frequently interrupted by prison announcements and the prison rule against phone calls lasting more than 15 minutes. Cosby had to call back several times to complete the interview. Now, Bill Cosby is serving 3 to 10 years maximum in a state prison in Collegeville, Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia, after a jury in Montgomery County last year convicted him of drugging and sexually assaulting a Temple University employee in 2004. Cosby has appealed his conviction, citing multiple alleged errors by the trial judge in his case. The appeal is pending before the state court appeals. Although it's not part of the audio, according to Brown's story, Cosby, who is now 82 years old and near blind, says that he thinks it's unlikely he'll be released early. Wyatt, who was on the call, confirmed that what Cosby told Brown. He said he has 8 years and 9 months left, according to Brown and Wyatt. When I come up for parole, they're not going to hear me say I have remorse. Consequently, Brown wrote, Cosby anticipates serving his entire sentence because he will never admit to something he claims he didn't do. Displayed remorse is generally a required prerequisite to obtaining parole or a shortened sentence. That's what Brown said. Cosby has been denying his guilt since his 2 trials, and he now considers himself a political prisoner. He told Brown his trials were unjust and unfair. In the audio, Cosby also stood by his infamous 2004 pound cake speech in which he criticized African Americans for behaviors he disapproved of. But he said he should not have suggested his criticism applied to all African Americans. The mistake I made in 2004 is making it sound like all people were making infractions. That's not true, he said in the audio interview. That speech earned him disdain in the black community. It sure did, which in turn led to legions of sexual misconduct allegations that helped bring him down, starting in the fall of 2014. Cosby, who has a doctorate in education, said he is continuing his mission as an educator by speaking weekly man-up prison prison sessions with fellow prisoners about striving for self-respect and dignity and putting family first. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a psychologist. I am an educator. And what I look forward to is talking to this group of 400 or so men, Cosby is heard saying in the audio. After the allegations against him began mounting, reruns of Cosby's successful TV shows mostly disappeared from TV screens. He believed that this is proof that the people in power conspired to take away anything positive from the black community. When the Cosby Show came on with the Huxtables, while it was running, other networks and even media were doing their jobs trying to belittle whatever it represented, Cosby said. They did not like what the Cosby Show looked like for us. Now, look at what has happened. They have taken everything that I've done and swept it into a place where it could not be shown. Now, I feel several ways about that, and we're going to get into it right quick. Let's talk about it. First of all, I don't even know if Bill Cosby got 10 more years left in him. That man is partially blind, and he is 82 years old. He struggled in. They might carry him out, okay? And that's not being funny. That's how I talk. So don't get in your feels. But what I'm seeing here is I can see how there is a system set up to make sure that black people do not really get too far in life. They'll give us a little of the cookie, but we ain't never gonna own the cookie, and we're never going to get too big a piece of it, if you understand what I'm saying. If you don't, then this video ain't for you. I get that. But at 82 years old, and I even get that if you ain't did something, hell no, you ain't gonna want to cop up to it. I ain't no probably to it. If I ain't do it, I'm never going to say that I did it. However, there are some circumstances that he needs to take into consideration. One of those circumstances being that you're 82 years old and partially blind. If you ever want to see the light of freedom again, maybe you should. Now, that's me playing devil's advocate, because I already just told you, if I ain't do it, then I'm going to go down not doing it. But if that man ever want to see, I'm younger. At his age, I wouldn't want to die in prison. So I think all of that would play into my decision as to whether or not I go before the parole board and say that I feel remorse. And then I also have to think about how many people go before the parole board and lie their face off and get out. You already going to be considered a sexual predator. I mean, that's not going to change. So I just don't know. And I also think that Bill Cosby got it twisted, because he was America's dad. Not just black people's dad. He was America's dad. Everybody loved him. He had a lot of support from the white community as well as the black community. However, when he made the attempt to go by NBC, whom in many people's eyes is one of the big media giants, that didn't sit well with some of the establishment. You can best believe that. And then, in 2004, when he did his little infamous pound cake speech, and he demonized the black community for infractions that he felt like at the time we were doing, and he grouped us all in one bunch, that wasn't a good look. See, that's when you lost the black support a little bit there, Bill. That's where you made your mistake. Now, just like in R. Kelly's case, I must say that I feel that these men have done some less than appeasing things. I damn sure do. Both of them. But I don't believe every last victim. And I still don't feel like Bill Cosby should be in jail today. Maybe put his ass on house arrest for the remainder of his life, because he's 82. Where he going? Maybe. But to put that old man in a prison, I don't really think that I'm sorry. And I know that there's going to cause people to want to have thumbs up, thumbs down the video or whatever. And you do what it is that you feel like you have to do. My responsibility here on this channel is to bring forth commentary and put my perspective into it. And sometimes my perspective may not be the popular perspective. I will go to my grave saying that I don't feel like Bill Cosby should have ever been put in a prison. Now, if he did something criminal, to which they say he did, he drugged the girls and got it in with them. He did that. That was proven. I still don't think this man at his age, it wasn't like he was walking around current times, just drugging, chicks and getting them in bed or nothing like this. He did this here early on in his life. And for these people to wait till this man is 1 foot into a casket to basically tear down his entire legacy, just strip it away, that's unfair. Now when they still running reruns of Seventh Heaven every doggone day. And what was the father accused of? And how much time did he get? Come on now, y'all. Let's just be real here. You know that you cannot get away with certain things in America as a black person, even in 2019. We can walk around here with our head in the sand like everybody is equal under the law, but that's a lie. That's a lie from the pits of hell. We are not all equal. And the establishment always allows you to have your fun. But then, if you do anything to step out of bounds, they remind you that you ain't who you think you is. And I think Bill Cosby kind of still live in that kind of delusion, because he said he a black man, but he a privileged man. Mr. Cosby, you may have been a privileged man, but these people have shown you, just like they helped build you up, in the blink of an eye, they can tear you down. I may not be the most articulate when it comes to this, because I'm trying to watch how I say things, because for one, I don't want my channel struck, my video struck. And I'm also trying to make people who don't necessarily get my point. So I'm going to say this. If you black, I don't care how successful in life you get, it's going to come a time where white people going to remind you. Jewish people going to remind you. Okay? They're going to remind you. They're not going to let you get too much. Bill Cosby, when he started talking about trying to buy NBC, I knew the end was near. I didn't know they were going to get him like they got him, but I knew the end was near. Because that's too big for him. They can't let you get nothing like that, honey. That's too big. That's too many. Oh, that's too much power. And just like they said about Malcolm X, one man shouldn't have all that power. What they want to say is one black man shouldn't have all that power. Because white men have power every day, all day. And don't nobody have a problem with it. Wake up, my people, and start to see this for what it truly is. What this world we live in, how it really goes in this world. Now, I'm not the one to sit here and talk about the oppression of the black man under the white regime, because some of that stuff, some of things that black people call oppression is just simply the way it is and how it goes. You got to play the game. Some of it is that. And I will agree and say that the white establishment is only going to let black people get so far. I say that. But you can do things in this life. You can be successful in your own right. Yes, you can. You can set up generational wealth for you and your family. But child, don't ever get it twisted and think that you that dude, because it's somebody in this world, in this establishment, in your field or wherever it is that you became great in, it's going to remind you otherwise. And they're going to have supporters. Okay? I hope that Bill Cosby can figure. I don't know. At 82, I think even though, see, at 47, if I ain't do it, I'm going to say I ain't do it, and I ain't going to change my stance on that. I don't care, because I ain't did nothing criminal to where they can lock me up like that. And I get him standing in it. In his mind, it was a setup, and he was done wrong. And it was. I don't believe all them victims. I sure don't believe that Andrea woman. I don't. Because you took a whole settlement, boo-boo. See, don't take these people money if you know that you're not settled in your spirit about something. Because you took the money and then double backed when it was convenient for you, and your testimony with many others got him convicted. Y'all sent an 82-year-old man to prison. And the establishment was more than happy to destroy everything that he has built. Yeah, they done snatched that Cosby show. Don't think it ain't, baby. It's hard to find that on the TV somewhere. I catch it every now and again, but not like talking about it. But every night I turn on my TV, I can find a rerun of 7th Heaven. See, that drives me. That drives me. I'm telling y'all, it's a change going on inside of me, and I don't know where he taking me with this, but I'm going to continue to speak on it, no matter how rough it may get. Because I feel like that if I don't stand for something, I'll fall for anything. In Bill Cosby case, I'm kind of worried about him not wanting to relent some, because if it means that you can come home and die an old man in your bed and not in some prison cell, then it might be worth it, because at the end of the day, they've already demonized you and called you a sexual predator. You ain't getting that off of you. The likelihood of that this bid to try to get your case overturned, I don't really see it happening. I don't see it happening. So before you die in that prison, I hope somebody whisper in his ear and kind of talk to him a little bit about it. Act like you is on a episode of one of your shows and just say what they need to say to get you on by. And don't act like me saying that is a bad thing, because a lot of y'all in y'all everyday lives have done what you had to do to get what you needed at some point. I ain't saying lose integrity. What I'm saying is learn how to play the system the way the system is supposed to be played. I don't want this man's body to be carried out of a prison and we see clips of it, or CNN got their helicopters in the air and they catch a glimpse of it, and you know, like they did Michael Jackson body and all that stuff. I don't want that to be the case for him. Bill Cosby knows what he did, and he is closer to having to answer for that from the Almighty Creator than most of us probably. At this point, you send him to prison. If he got a chance of coming home and not dying in that place, because in 8 years, he'll be 90 years old. He's already surpassed the average lifespan of a man anyway. We don't know that he got 8 years more to give being in a prison like that. And I would like to see him have some of his comforts back. You done already stripped him down to his socks and his underwear. What more do you want? And Bill, think about that. Because, baby, you up there in age now. If you was a little bit younger, I might say, I feel you. Fight the power. All that. But I'm torn, y'all. And I think Bill needs to finally realize that you were a privileged black man. You might got privilege in your bank account, but they say that you got so many lawsuits hitting you, civil ones, that it could squander away your coin. That's why I wish these entertainers would wake up and realize, if you blessed to make it in this entertainment world, be careful of your movements. Stack your paper. Do some wise investments. Don't squander your money on alcohol, drugs, clothes, and females. Make your money make sense for you and the generations of your family that is to come. Be wise in your movements. Because it's a shame to see these black men who work so hard to compete, and they have won in their prospective rights, have everything stripped from them over some stupid decisions. I teach my grandkids that every single day, about the decisions you make today could affect you in your future. That's true. I look back on some of the decisions I made in my life, and sometimes I can't get mad, because there are things I've done in my life that put me where I be at when I'm going through certain things. Not thinking, not having somebody there to say, hey, let's try it this way, or hey, that ain't a good thing. That could cost you in the long run. Child, you see, they ain't letting nobody run fast and long no more. You get it back real quick. So be wise. And I really want to know what y'all think down in the panty section. Do y'all think that this man needs to, first of all, wake up and realize, Mr. Cosby, you ain't as privileged as you think? Do you think that he should, at this point, say what he got to say to come home? Because his time on this earth, he ain't got that many more years. Let's just be realistic here. I don't like to wish nothing on nobody, and I ain't saying he dying tomorrow. What I'm saying is, at 82 years old, the clock is severely ticking on him. And if I got a chance to go home and be in the land of the free again, I don't know that I would not at least say what I need to say to get out of that prison, even if he don't believe it. Because at the end of the day, at this point, what they gonna do? They can't do no more to him than what they already did. He already gonna be labeled as a sex offender. Just for the peace and mind of himself and the people that love him, I would rethink my position. I don't think I would say all that he said. I don't know. I don't think I would, though. But that's how I feel about it, fam. That's how I feel about it. To hear him at 82, he reminded me of my grandfather. Baby, them old people will stand firm in what they believe. They will go down with it. And I guess Mr. Cosby might say in his mind, I ain't do it. Because I feel like he was set up. I do. I don't feel like all them victims was lying. But I ain't believe everybody. They believe that. Now, all of them wasn't lying. But I think some of the key players were actually lying. Anyway, that's just a talk time with me and about this Bill Cosby situation. That article really bothered me because I'm like, damn, Bill. But at 82, you can't be fighting the power like that, you know. I want you to go home. I don't want to rehear. I don't want to have to come back and say to y'all, be it this year, next year, or however long it may be. I don't want to do a report on him dying in prison. I don't. I am if I'm here, but I don't want to. If you have a chance to get out, I just personally think he should. I would not be sitting up on no interview saying that I'm not going to say, I'm going to just stay here and do my full 10 years like I'm a strapping, healthy young man with many, many years left in this world to live. Nah, bruh, you know, you almost at the benediction. And I know you want to go home. I know the people that love you want you to come home. That's just my point. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire situation involving our beloved Bill Cosby. Weigh in your thoughts and opinions. Do you think that this man should stand firm in his word and never relent on what he said, I am innocent, I was set up? Or do you think that maybe when his parole time, which probably coming up, do you think that maybe he should change his stance a little bit and go in there and give a performance of a lifetime? What y'all think down below? Child, remember the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Ratings get me recognized on the YouTube streets. Comment down below in the penny section. Let me know what y'all think. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel today. Also, tap your notification bell button so that each and every time I do a pre-recorded video or go live from this channel, you guys are going to get a notification and you can come over and join in the conversation. Y'all have a great remainder to your Tuesday. Hopefully, I'll see y'all tomorrow. If I don't, then that means that they made me mad and I ain't cooked nothing. And I went out there to the family buffet and got me a meal, girl. That's what that means. If I don't come back, they'd have made me mad. And I'm saying that now because stuff is going on and it's making me kind of irritated. So if we don't get this together by tomorrow, honey, I can go eat me old nasty piece of meal down at the casino and be just fine. Maybe it's time for me to do a remix on them. I don't know. But that's it, y'all. That's it. I will at least come back at least one time before Thanksgiving to say happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all and everything. If we ain't doing nothing around here, and we'll just have to move those festivities that we had for Thanksgiving Eve on over to Christmas Eve, because ain't nobody gonna mess with that particular holiday, because that's the one I do for the grandkids. But we shall see, family. Y'all hold us in prayer, honey, because we over here butting heads about menu ideas, folks and gathering their feelings and everything. That's child, just a hot mess, I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace.